Hi everyone, welcome back to the Hot Cars channel. My name is Amanda Cline, and this week we have the 2026 GMC Sierra EV AT4 Max Range. And the vibes of this thing are ridiculous. It's got a ridiculous range of 478 miles. It's got 725 horsepower, 775 pound-feet of torque. It weighs like 8,800 pounds, and the numbers everywhere are just ridiculous. Now, if you know anything about GMC trucks, you know that the AT4 trim is known for its off-roading. So this has some cool drive modes like terrain and off-road mode that are really good for those situations. Unfortunately, it has been raining so much in Florida. There's just water everywhere, and I'm not super confident about putting an 8,800 pound EV into the water. So I don't know how much off-roading we're gonna be able to do today, but we're gonna take a look at the inside and the outside and go for a ride so you can get to know this truck a little bit better. And if you know anything about the Sierra EV, it starts at around $65,000 this year. There are a bunch of trim levels, but like I said, this is the AT4 Max Range, so it's around $91,000. We have one upgrade, and that's the bed cover. That's an extra like $1,800. So this is around $93,000 out the door, which is kind of crazy expensive, another ridiculous number. But what do you get for that $93,000? Let me show you. It goes up, and this is a huge frunk. The AT4 has like the biggest frunk that I have ever seen. I had to get in it to prove it to you, and I got it really dirty. I'm so sorry, everybody. Okay, so now here's the frunk. It is absolutely massive. When I got it, it had a big charger in there, but this is like a really good asset to have because you can put stuff in here and then close the frunk and nobody will even know that it's in there. So this is actually some really usable and valuable space. One thing it's kind of finicky to get it open and closed. You have to hold the button down. It's gonna work perfectly now that I did that. But very secure, does it automatically, just holding this little button. While we're up at the front, you can see that it has these massive headlights that provide really good visibility. I was super pleased with them when I was out filming early this morning. They're LEDs, you have more LEDs down here. And then because this is the AT4 trim, you get an extra 2 inches of ground clearance up here, and then you have these 2 recovery tow hooks. So it's kind of nice if you do take it out in the water and you get stuck, you have the ability to get towed out or to tow somebody else out. For wheels and tires, you have 18-inch wheels, 35-inch tires that are also unique to the AT4 trim, and they look proportional to how humongous this truck is. And then you have 17-inch brakes in the front and in the rear. So at the back here, you do have a nice step for if you want to get in your truck bed. And then this is that $1,800 upgrade that I was talking about, the truck bed cover, which is nice to have. It just kind of folds back there and is going to protect everything that you might have in the truck bed. And then back here, you do have some lights, so you'll be able to see everything in your truck bed. I'm gonna lean over so I can show you. There are 4 120 plugs and then 1 240. So if you're trying to power something heavier duty, you can do it back there. You have all kinds of tie downs and everything that you're gonna need. It's just like a regular truck, it's just electric. So everything that you're gonna wanna try and do with this GMC Sierra EV, you will definitely be able to. Bam. And you can tow whatever you want with it. Okay, you also have a really cool step that's integrated into here, and let's see. So you put this down, and then you put another little button here, and then you press another little button here. Look at that. So now it says that the max weight is 375 pounds. So you can sit on that if you want to tailgate, or you can just use it to climb into the bed of the truck. So convenient. Or you have these cool little steps on the side if you don't want to go through that whole situation. Now that we are inside the Sierra EV, everything in here is equally as large as the truck is on the outside. But these seats are really comfortable. They are absolutely ginormous. They are heated and ventilated, which is really nice. And the cabin is super cold right now, which I always appreciate because this is kind of a darker interior. If you're a Floridian or like you live in somewhere hot, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But beyond that, The most important part of this interior is going to be this absolutely huge screen here. Now this is 16.8 inches, I believe. It looks like a Publix sheet cake to me. And I didn't think I was going to like it, I'm gonna be honest with you, but it is so responsive and so easy to use. And there are a lot of different like menu options once you get in here, but because it's so big, it doesn't feel like cumbersome to try and look through them to find everything that you need. Your phone is here, Google Maps, your audio, we're obviously on Taylor Swift Sirius XM station. You have your vehicle status up here, which I guess we can check our vehicle status. Oh, our tire pressure, how nice of it. Great, look at our tire pressure. Everything else is also right here. You have your drive modes, and I talk about this a little bit when we go for a drive, but you don't have a sport mode or anything like that. Your important drive modes are gonna be this off-road mode, your terrain mode, and the tow haul mode. Terrain mode is for going kind of slow and giving you better grip as you are off-road or on a kind of a tricky terrain. Obviously, your tow haul mode, you are definitely going to want to be in that if you're towing anything, especially if you're utilizing that 12,000 pound towing capacity. Then you also have your auto park assist. But one thing I want to point out while we're here, the camera system on this is so clear. Like it looks like a DSLR. I mean, there's cameras at every angle. So this one's for your towing if you're trying to check the hitch. This is for on the side of the vehicle. Then you have another one. I think that's like on top of the trunk handle. Ridiculous. This is gonna be behind on like the back part right there. I mean, there's camera angles absolutely everywhere on this thing, and it's so clear. So that is super nice to have because this is a really, really, really big truck. And the seats are comfortable, but this doesn't necessarily go up as high as I would like it to. It doesn't adjust as high as I would like to. I'm only 5'6", so I like to sit up really high, but having that really good camera system is very important. So while we're here, our controls are here, and this has all of the cool fun features that you might want, like rear steering and also CrabWalk. So we're going to show you CrabWalk in a little while, but all of those are going to be right here. You have your auto high beams, your park assist, and then all of your charging settings, they're right there. You have Google News if you want it. Here's your charging settings. But the most important part, your volume button is right here in the middle. And then all of your climate controls have real buttons down here at the bottom, which I so appreciate. So overall, I am a big fan of this ginormous screen. There's another big screen up here, which is nice to have. And it's so clear. It's really easy to see. All of the information is there, even the time, the temperature, our station, all of your charging information, all of your safety systems like cruise control, all very easy to read and right in front of your face, which is nice. It also has a giant head-up display up there, so if you're missing anything here, you can see it up there. So overall, the interior here at the front, tons of storage, tons of room over here. You have cup holders out the yin yang, more storage down here. There's a wireless charger, 2 USB-C plugs, cup holders, basically anything that you want, this is going to have it. So I definitely commend them. This is going to be a super comfortable and awesome truck. Now the back seat has 3 ginormous seats again. I feel like I've said the word ginormous and big like a lot during this review, so please forgive me. But as you can see, there is literally so much room for activities back here. Adults can fit back here. I mean, you can put Shrek back here probably and you can have enough space. You have some seat heaters here, cup holders, there's more cup holders. You have 2 USB chargers and then another type of charger. Oh, a real plug back here, that's nice. And some more storage, but overall just a ton of space. And you have this really nice panoramic roof that's tinted. So even though it's still really hot in Florida, this hasn't been a big negative like on some cars that I've seen because it's nice and tinted. But one of the most important things that we have going on back here is this pass-through. We'll see how easy this is. Open that. Okay, so first you are going to pull this up. So then you're gonna pull this and you have to fold the headrests all the way down. So then you have that. Then you have to press this button. Look at that. That was easier than I thought it would be. So now you have this really cool pass through. So if you have something that doesn't fit in this extremely large bed and you need it to pass through, you can do that. This is a really nice feature to have. And even if you're putting like wood or something back here, this is super nice. You're not going to damage your seats or anything like that. So another really cool feature. So right now we have rear steering on, and we're gonna get into place and then we're gonna crab walk it up. So we'll show you what the rear tires look like, because it's actually kind of cool to see what it's doing. And it's really cool to watch what it does to both of the screens when you turn CrabWalk on. So we're going back into that controls and safety settings, and then we're gonna turn on CrabWalk. Enter CrabWalk. Look at that. It's like a little evil crab. Okay, now we're in CrabWalk mode. So we've talked about the inside of the Sierra EV and the outside and all the cool features, but the only thing left to do is take it for a very fast, very torquey ride. So let's see how this guy does in a very sandy area. Bye! All right, so I believe GMC says the time for the 0 to 60 time for this guy is 4.5 seconds. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh, that's pretty good. It's probably more of a driver mod. That was just under 5 seconds. It's fast. The seatbelt like tightened me in. It's super fast, but again, it weighs like 8,800 pounds. So at some point you're like, holy guacamole, do I even need that much power? Will I ever need that much power? It's just ridiculous. On road, it's just like, there's a lot of noises and there's just a lot of like strange choices, I would say. Like it just turns on when you get in it, when you have the key on you, and then like it just turns off, but then you have to press the turn off button over here. There's no like start stop button. I might be missing a setting somewhere, but like it's just always turning on and off on me. I like got out earlier. Maybe if you take the key out with you, it just turns off. Because I got out earlier just to like set up these cameras and the whole thing turned off. Then as soon as you get back in the driver's seat, it turns back on. It's like, I didn't need you to turn off and turn on. You could just stay. Use this to press to decide on your speed, I guess. And then you press down to engage. Okay, so it worked. All right. This is a low speed area, so we're cruising at 44. There is someone beside me. So one thing that's interesting, on most of the cars that I've tested, it shows you like your car on the road with like lines around it and cars around it, so you know if there is someone on either side of you, but we don't have that at all. I guess that's not totally necessary. Like I can see in front of me that I am doing stuff, that I'm driving, and that I am in between the lines because like it's directly in front of my face. But yeah, there's no like animations here. And so it switched lanes for me yesterday on the highway, but that might have been because we were on like I-75. We were on an actual interstate. So it had the capability of doing that, but it did a really good job. If I'm being honest, this thing has crazy blind spots. So if there was a car where I would like to know like where cars are hiding around me, like there's a car in my blind spot on the left side right now. I almost took out an entire Lexus RX 350 because it was just in my blind spot. All I can really see is like what's directly out the window and what is showing in my mirror over there, which is really only showing me like the back of the truck. There's so much missing. Like there is a lot of room for a car to be in my blind spots. So regardless, I think that for an off-road vehicle, the suspension on this feels a little like, I guess, rough. Like I can feel every bump. And when I was like bouncing around earlier when I was going through a rougher area. But I will say, this is a crazy big cabin. The back seat is absolutely massive, and so are these front seats here. They're pretty comfortable. I do wish that the seat went up a little higher. Like, I just like to sit really high because this is like a ginormous truck, and I would like to be able to see over the front a little more. I think I can turn on the cameras though. Let's see. They might not work because we're going fast. Super clear cameras. I mean, they are just, I feel like that's a DSLR. And those are nice to have because you can kind of engage them. And I mean, we are going almost 30 and they still work. So you can kind of engage them anywhere if you're trying to park in a tight space. But yeah, I wish that you could see a little more of the front end, and the blind spots are incredible. I could not believe that an entire Lexus RX was hiding in one the other day. Okay, we are trying to charge the GMC Sierra AT4 Max Range. We are at 74%, so we still have 369 miles left because I kind of charged it in the middle of the week. We're gonna charge it probably a little more than 90% because when they come to pick this up, I don't want them to have to stop. They have a pretty long ride home. You just never know about these scenarios until you're in them. And then now I have all these questions. Like, do people come here and play games? Do they just sit on their phones? I guess I could have brought a book. Is this what people do when they charge their electric vehicle? Well, I mean, like, I'm sure people aren't just talking to their cameras. That's just me. Oh my God. Why? Maybe it didn't like that. What happens if your car charges super slow and you're here forever? These seats are big enough that you could nap in them. The Ioniq was 311, so 478 is actually like a huge battery to have to charge. I didn't even think about that. We're at 90% everywhere, and we're at $19, so we're gonna hit stop charging. Our charging cost was $22.28. Total energy delivered 39.87 kilowatt hours, 56 cents per kilowatt hour. Our total session time, 18 minutes, 50 seconds. Our max charging speed was 166 kilowatts. All right, I think that concludes our charging portion with the Sierra EV. So this is actually very enlightening. But if you are on empty and you're trying to charge this huge battery, be aware it's not going to be fast even if you're at a fast charger. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Great job. Great job, Sierra EV. It's gonna start raining so hard. So we have taken the AT4 on a ride and we showed you the interior and exterior. I'm really sad that we can't take it off-road. I feel like that's the whole point of the AT4, but I would rather not get an 8,000-pound vehicle stuck in the water with an alligator today. So hopefully you still got a good feel of what it's like to live with this. The horsepower is crazy, the torque is crazy, your range is extremely long, and we've seen really good results with that driving around with it. Plus, you just have all these features that are gonna make life really easy to live with the Sierra EV. Plus, those seats inside are so spacious. You could sleep in this, I'm very convinced. So overall, if you're looking for an electric truck and you want all the bells and whistles, but maybe you don't want to go up to that Denali trim, the AT4 is really cool, especially if you do want to take advantage of those off-road features. While you're on the channel, check out some of our other reviews. We have a really cool one with the Tacoma Trail Hunter that we actually took out around here when it was really dry. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Amanda Cline. This is the GMC Sierra AT4 EV. Thanks so much for watching.